So today I wanted to talk about gender roles. As you can see, I was originally talking in the video, but none of it made very much sense, so this is my second attempt. From when we're little, we're told that certain things are for boys and that others are for girls. I have always been stereotypically girly, but I've also done a lot of things that aren't. For example, I would always play with trucks and cars, and I was never afraid to get dirty or climb a tree. But I always did it in a dress, which confused a lot of people. Even as I've gotten older, I still do things that are considered for boys. I've been the only girl in a few of my classes now, which I don't hate, but I find it rather odd. Why is it that girls are so afraid to do things like physics or subjects that involve building and construction? I've always been lucky that my mum has encouraged me to do what I want because I want to do it, and not because it's what I should do. And I've also realised that with figuring out my sexuality, I felt this odd pressure to dress and act more masculine. The idea that gay women are more man-like is so prevalent in society in general, but also within the LGBT community. You see people calling boys gay because they are feminine, and lesbians are stereotypically butch. And both of these ideas are ridiculous. Gender and sexuality are very different things, and while they may be linked sometimes, they aren't always. There is this horrible pressure to fit into gender binary boxes that very few of us fit in. It's been so strongly programmed into us that pushing these boundaries is wrong that most people never even think about it. Part of the reason I love the 80s is the music. But also look at people like David Bowie and Annie Lennox, who were icons for this androgynous style and looked boss AF doing it. Even bands like Queen experimented with gender expression. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we need to stop enforcing this rule that forces people to be one thing or another. We're all different and we all express who we are in different ways. Clothing, makeup, jobs, and hobbies have no gender. Like sexuality, it's a spectrum, and we all fall differently on that scale, with very few of us at 100% at one end or the other. We need to stop criticizing diversity and embrace it, allowing everyone to be who they are and express it however they like. By belittling someone's freedom of choice, you are only making yourself look small. Why is everybody so afraid to be perceived as anything other than two things? Regardless of how we identify our gender, why are we not pushing the boundaries? If you identify as male, what stops you from wearing makeup or painting your nails? Girls, what's stopping you from working on cars or climbing trees? And I know that these are all very obvious stereotypes and gender roles, but I'm using them as examples. This is meant to start a discussion. So please leave comments down below and let me know how you challenge gender boundaries. Thank you guys, I love you, and goodbye.
Play our little game. Play our little game. Play our little game. Play our little game. Won't you play with me?